I'm Jonathan Randall, and welcome to possibly the last episode of How You Like Me Now. I was informed that after today, all of my studio sessions have been canceled, and I will no longer have access to this studio. I snuck in here today to record one last episode. Nothing lasts forever, and I've had a really good run here. This is all just happening, and I haven't had time to line up another studio to record at yet, and I haven't decided if I want to continue with this project in its current incarnation. So TBD, everyone. Thank you for all your support. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and no matter what, I will continue to advocate for Palestinian human rights and freedom and equality for all people. I will not be setting myself on fire, though. You have probably seen the disturbing video of an active duty United States Air Force member setting himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. while yelling, "Free Palestine." The 25-year-old streamed the whole thing on Twitch, and the video is now all over the internet of him saying he could no longer be complicit with genocide and that the extreme act of protest he was about to commit was not extreme at all compared to what the Palestinian people have experienced at the hands of their colonizers. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Another casualty of the ongoing Nakba. He was the second American to set themselves on fire since October 7th. Self-immolation is the most extreme form of protest and has been for centuries. Sadly, our own soldiers setting themselves on fire probably won't stop America's unconditional military support for Israel while it commits even more extreme horrors on the Palestinian people. You don't have to set yourself on fire to say free Palestine, but you can't ignore that people are. You can't ignore that the Nakba continues to happen to the Palestinians, the onslaught in Gaza, the brutal settler violence in the West Bank. Have you seen enough extreme violence to say free Palestine? Because people are setting themselves on fire to say it. So say it for Aaron Bushnell. Say it for the thousands dead and the over 1 million homeless in Gaza. For Palestinians in the West Bank. For those that are still refugees. Say it with me. Tell a friend. Stand up for humanity. And say as loud as you can, free Palestine. The Prime Minister and government of the Palestinian Authority have resigned. He said it was because of the genocide, forced displacement, and the starving of people in Gaza, but many see it as the United States' influence for Palestinians to create a political structure to govern all of Palestine, including the West Bank and Gaza. Of course, Netanyahu and his band of idiot extremists are against any unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state. But the West continues to ignore what Israel is both saying and doing, and still funds their war on Gaza and military occupation of the West Bank. They say they want to help foster national unity and create a technocratic government for a Palestinian state, but meanwhile, they fuel the oppressive force that is hell-bent on making sure it doesn't happen. While Israel continues to destroy and kill in Gaza, Palestinians in the West Bank are constantly under threat from Israeli settlers, colonizers, terrorists, whatever you want to call them. Radicals who terrorize Palestinians in an effort to force them from their land. There have been over 561 recorded incidents since October 7th of settlers attacking Palestinians. They have killed at least 8, injured over 100, and displaced over 1,200, all supported by the Israeli military and your U.S. tax dollars in an effort to cleanse Palestinians from the land, claim full sovereignty, and continue illegal settlement expansion. What's it going to take for people to wake up and see that Israel's extremist government supports, incites, and actually are these terrorist settlers who want to get Palestinians out of the West Bank? Itamar Ben-Gvir is handing out guns and combat equipment to these terrorists, and the Israeli military trains them, creating territorial defense units, aka ethnic cleansers. Their violence against Palestinians is more commonly supported by Israeli military than punished. Settler violence is growing. They take land, damage property, murder, and keep Palestinians living in fear so they will leave. You know, terrorizing them. They kill Palestinians and then throw stones at their funeral processions. They destroy and control Palestinian water that is used for irrigation. They close off roads, kill livestock, and fire at ambulances. They will stop at nothing to drive Palestinians from the land, and that's exactly what the Israeli government wants. The international community really needs to step up and do more to hold those who perpetrate settler violence accountable and stop supporting a government that enables it and plans to continue building illegal settlements. End the occupation. The Biden administration has restored the U.S. policy that Israeli settlements are illegitimate under international law. Trump had changed that classification that previously both Democrats and Republicans had agreed that settlements are not only illegal under international law, but are counterproductive in creating peace. Yet, these settlements continue to be funded by tax-exempt American organizations and are protected by Israeli forces funded by the United States. All this while, according to the ICJ, a plausible genocide is taking place in Gaza. The genocide isn't just taking place in Gaza, it's been taking place against the Palestinian people for decades. You don't have to call it a genocide if that word offends you so much. What really should be offending you are the horrors that the Palestinian people face in the ongoing Nakba. The Biden administration needs to do a hell of a lot more than just acknowledge that the settlements are illegal and stop funding the government that encourages them. According to the UN leading expert on the right to food, Israel is deliberately starving Palestinians, which is a war crime and constitutes a situation of genocide. Israel needs to be held accountable for restricting and destroying food and other humanitarian supplies. Children in Gaza are suffering from malnutrition, and human rights experts are saying it's because Israel is intentionally starving them. Amnesty International said this week that Israel has not taken the bare minimum steps to comply with the ICJ ruling. Israel claims that it's not committing a genocide, but its actions, like creating famine in Gaza, are among its many war crimes that say otherwise. Further evidence that Israeli officials knew about the October 7th attack had been revealed. And hours before Israel's excuse for being accused of genocide, the Israeli military noticed that over 1,000 Israeli SIM cards were activated within Gaza. But it didn't think that maybe it should call off a music festival it's having right next door, you know, because all of a sudden Hamas Mobile went live and they're going to reach out and kill someone. So much for Israeli intelligence. Of course, the IOF is denying all of this, saying it was only a few dozen SIM cards that they noticed. And it's not like they are proven liars or anything. Follow me across social media at Jonathan Randall. I'll be adding more items to the End the Occupation Etsy store. Special thanks to Julia for her amazing designs. 60% of all the profits go to help Palestinians through the Freedom Theater and the Mercy Corps. Thank you to all my Ko-fi subscribers. It means so much to me to have your support, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your generosity in helping me produce all of these episodes. Of course, if you want to support my work, you can do so at ko-fi.com/Jonathan Randall. I'll put all of the links in the description. I often hear the sentiment that if Israel should give back the land to the Palestinians, then America should give back the land to the Native Americans. That one somehow justifies the other. It is in no way anti-Semitic to think that just because other whites got away with colonizing America and beyond, that Jews have the right to do the same. Supremacy is bad no matter where it comes from, and just because colonization has occurred doesn't mean it should continue. The sins of the past don't justify Israel's ongoing sins against the Palestinian people. Well, everybody, this is me currently signing off from the Lower East Side studio. Thanks for tuning in. While I won't be making content here, you bet your ass I will continue to make it. I'm Jonathan Randall. How you like me now?